Born in Cabarrus County, North Carolina, on December 2, 1821, Rufus Clay Barringer went on to become a lawyer and politician settling in Concord, North Carolina. Barringer was a Unionist and supported the federal Constitution. However, when North Carolina seceded from the Union in May 1861, Barringer established a cavalry unit called the Cabarrus Rangers. Barringer rose from the rank of captain to brigadier general in the Confederate States of America's Army. He fought in 76 battles and suffered 3 wounds, one taking 5 months to heal. On April 3, 1865, just before the end of hostilities, Barringer became a prisoner of war at Fort Delaware. While being transported to Fort Delaware, Barringer met President Lincoln, who was an old colleague of Barringer's brother. Septima M. Collis recorded the accounts of a visit in her war memoir, A Woman's War Record.
At once communicating the president's wish to General Barringer, I found that officer much embarrassed. He feared I had overstepped the bounds of propriety in mentioning his curiosity to see the Northern president, and that Mr. Lincoln would think him a very impotent fellow, besides which he was muddy and tattered and torn, and not at all presentable.
The two men spoke in a familiar tone, and the president wrote a note to Edwin M. Stanton, Secretary of War, asking him to do what he could to make Barringer as comfortable as possible. After the meeting, Barringer sobbed. On April 15, 1865, Barringer wrote in his journal, 9 a.m., flags at half-mast. All think Mr. Stewart dead. I start to the barracks, past several surgeons, all in grief and look sullen. Met Johnny. What's the matter? They have killed our president, and somebody will suffer for it. Great excitement in the barracks. A few of the prisoners shouted, but nearly all felt sad, solemn, and many crushed with fear and alarm. The guns are all lowered in the fort. All say, worse for us, worse for the South. Barringer remained in prison until the early summer months. The last entry of his journal, dated August 8, 1865, states, "At home, how joyous the greeting, how sad the scenes, the changes, the remembrance of 4 years of war, moved before me." Rufus Clay Barringer died February 3, 1895, at age 73. After the war, he settled in Charlotte, North Carolina, where he retained his law practice and was politically active in the Reconstruction Acts of 1867 and was a member of North Carolina's Constitutional Convention of 1875. Barringer was married 3 times and had 4 children, one dying in childhood. Barringer is buried in Elmwood Cemetery in Charlotte, North Carolina, in Mecklenburg County.